Hi, and welcome to Teaching with Zoom from A to Z. The idea of this video, and the reason I've got a list up there of times, is so that you can go to right in the video where you need to learn how to teach and use Zoom in your classes. The idea is that you're going to set up your room, you're going to set up your Zoom account, you're going to set up your sessions or meetings with Zoom, and then you're going to use it to teach with so that you get a recording of you teaching and of this whatever we're doing on the board in our classroom. This is different than what we've kind of taught about doing in the past with just using Smart Recorder, because in the past we didn't realize how important it was going to be for us, the teachers, to be in those recordings, to interact and have that connectivity with our students. Whether their students are online and the rest of our students are in class, or whether they start in class and then have to quarantine, go home, come back, whatever. That's why we're trying to make sure the teachers are part of the instruction that we're getting out to all of our students. And Zoom, even if we don't use it to actually have our students live with us in class, is a great way to record it and letterbox us down in the corner of the video so that they get both of our instruction and our screen share and us all at the same time in one easy to use tool. So first of all, although this video is showing a specific camera, it doesn't matter what camera that you're using. Open up the software that's on your desktop called Visualizer. Now, Visualizer is that little green icon, and what I do is turn on my projector and I make it full screen, and then I look at that while I manipulate my camera to figure out exactly where I want it to point, because I'm trying to get it so it gets me and my screen and what I'm doing, but it doesn't get any students at all in my classroom. So you could set it up head on, you could set it up at an angle for the right or the left. I put it, as I'm looking at the classroom, on the right side so that while I'm writing, I'm looking basically at the camera, so that any student that's that is online, part of the time I'm kind of addressing them as I'm speaking, and as I'm talking, I'm kind of talking at that camera mic, which is off on that side of the room. Okay, so to set up a Zoom account, you just go to zoom.us and click sign up. It's free. It's going to ask you for a month and day of birth. We just pick really anything. It doesn't, to my knowledge, do much of a check. Just want you to say that you're old enough. So if you haven't signed up before, you click sign up. So you're going to put in your work email address. And you're going to hit sign up. And it's going to say, hey, we've sent you an email to confirm you're who you say you are. Then you go over to your email address and check your inbox out. And you should have something like this that you click on to activate your account. Are you signing in on behalf of a school? Please say yes, and it'll take away that 40-minute time limit. And then you have to fill out the rest of the form. I'm going to fill it out as I'm a teacher. I agree to Zoom's educational policy. I consent to the terms of service. I verifies I have an authorized account on behalf of the school. Continue. And then it says welcome to Zoom, and you can set up your account there. I'm going to go ahead and make a kind of go to my account. There we go. So I am now signed up with a teacher account in Zoom, which takes away that 40-minute time limit. It's important that you sign up and say it's an educational account when you set up, or free ones have that 40-minute limit. Okay, we're in Zoom and we want to host a meeting in order to record for our class. The first thing we have to do is go to meetings. We could have done it up here under host a meeting right here. I'm going to schedule my meetings so that I can use the same one all the time. So I'm going to hit a schedule new meeting. I'm going to call it hardware class. I don't have to enter a description. when I'm going to say that it's going to meet at, let's see, I'm going to put a class time in here and say it's going to meet at 10 o'clock a.m. It's going to be an hour, and it's going to be a recurring meeting that's going to recur daily, repeat every day, and end in, let's be crazy and say it's, oh, it won't let me go that far out. That's the farthest it'll let me go out, so I'm going to have to reschedule at some point anyway. I'm going to use a security passcode so no one else can come into the room, but I'm not going to have a waiting room on, and that's so students that are online can just come into the class. I'm only going to post this in one place in my Moodle class, so I shouldn't have other people showing up anyway. The waiting room is a great idea if you're going to be here watching it, but if you're going to be using it to teach with, you don't have time to keep looking to say, oh, I got to let Jimmy in. Oh, I got to let, and that's why I turn off the waiting room. Participant video is off. Host video, that's me. It's going to be on. Meeting options, enable, join before host, absolutely not. Mute all participants on entry, sure. Record the meeting automatically on the local computer. That makes it so I don't have to worry about turning on recording. You may or may not want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And that is it for setting up my meeting.
Okay, one of the things we have to do is to share a link for our students to join the meeting. So I've got this recurring meeting set up, and if I go and look at any of them, this invitation is going to be the same. So I'm just going to copy the invitation, and it says it's copied to the clipboard, and then I'm going to go into Moodle, and I'm going to add an activity that I'm going to go down here to a page, add, I'm going to say join our class Zoom. And then I'm going to go down here and page content, and I'm going to paste that whole thing. I'm going to kind of edit it because I don't need the whole thing here. I'm going to take out part of this. In fact, I'm going to take out all the times all the way down here to join Zoom meeting. So now it's got the meeting ID and the passcode in there. And then I'm going to go down just a little bit further to restrict access, and I'm going to add a restriction that says group must be a part of any group hidden otherwise. So I poke it in the eye there. That's so the guests can't see that invite or join it either. So I'm going to hit save and display, and now only students will be able to see this in my class, and they can see the link, click on it immediately, and they have the passcode available to them as well. And I could put a note in there that says you'll only be able to join once I've started the Zoom, see the class schedule or something like that.
Okay, when I'm ready to start teaching, I have to come to Zoom and say I want to start the meeting that I'm going to be using to teach this class. If I do. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start the meeting, and it says, hey, do you want to open Zoom meetings? If you've never done this before, the first time you're going to have to download and install Zoom meetings so it goes on your computer. I've already got it installed on this computer, so I don't have to do that. It's just going to go ahead and open up Zoom meetings. There it is, opening up. And there is my full screen meeting that is now started for my class. Okay, I've got my Zoom class already started. You can see up in the top left-hand corner, because I set this meeting up to always record. And I'm going to do that because I don't want to forget. And I'm probably going to trim it out later, but maybe you don't because you don't want to start recording it right away. That's up to you. Once I've got it started, I'm going to hit share screen. And I'm going to say I want to share this screen, the one I'm on. So I'm going to hit share. And it's immediately going to look like this because that's what is open on my screen right now. I'm going to go ahead and minimize it. And now it's sharing. Let me minimize everything. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so now this is basically what it looks like as I'm teaching. I've got this. Oh, please, Apple, go away. I've got this up in the top of my screen. Now, whether I'm using my smart board, my Mimeo board, or whether I'm screen capture recording just off a laptop like I am now, I have those right at the top of my screen anytime I want to go to those things. So right now I'm screen sharing. That's the way you're going to record, most likely. You're trying to get that screen share with you in the corner. Let's see if I got my video on. I don't have my video on, so I'm going to go ahead and hit Start Video. And we set that up as not being started. Let's see. I'm going to use the integrated webcam, so I'm not trying to use the same camera twice. And I'm going to start the video. I'm going to have to change my webcam just a little bit. So if you have a class camera, a document camera, that's what you're going to choose as the recording. And then I've got this ability now to come up here and hit pause. Oh, that's screen share pause. Sorry. I'm going to come here to pause recording. And you can see that the commands there. Let me go back there so it shows up. Pause recording is Alt-P and resume recording is Alt-P. So anytime I want to, I can just hit my Alt-P button. That also is the extend button on there. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I don't think I can use that. This mute is our classroom mute, and anytime I want to, I can mute that, and that's going to stop the sound from being recorded if I'm trying to do something, if I'm calling out a student, maybe if I'm asking questions and answers. Maybe I don't want that part, that audio part, to be recorded. I might stop that and not necessarily pause the video, especially if maybe I'm a math teacher and I'm putting up the audio on there or the problem on the board. Maybe I don't want to have them hear what the answer is. I want them to work through that answer themselves. There's lots of reasons you might mute, and you can see it pops up and says, hey, you're talking and you're muted. So that's why it brought that up for me. Also, when I come up here at the top with this drop down arrow, I can also see which microphone is selected. I may want to use the microphone associated, and I probably do want to use the microphone associated with the document camera if it has one. You'll have to try that out on your recordings to see what picks that up the best. And then basically when you're done, you're just going to come up top it here again, and you're going to stop your recording when you're all finished. Zoom Classroom, I'm going to go ahead and end the Zoom session because, by the way, it adds everything from the same session together. So I'm going to go ahead and end this, which would allow me to end the meeting for everyone so my students can't stay in it after I'm done. And now you see it pop up. It says converting the recording. Now it's making that video file of what we just recorded. Okay, the next thing we want to talk about is YouTube. We've been using it at Trail for an extremely long period of time, but there's a possibility that there's some teachers that still haven't set up a YouTube channel and have never uploaded videos into their YouTube channel. So the act of setting up a YouTube channel is very simple. Okay, so let's talk about setting up a YouTube account and setting your default settings. So if you're logged into Gmail, all you have to do is go over to the launch button where it says Google Apps, click on it, and go down to YouTube. Yours might be in a different location than mine. Click on it, and it will open up YouTube. First thing we're going to do is make an account. So we click on our icon in the top right-hand corner and go to Settings. Now, I don't have a channel because it says Your Channel, Create a Channel. You can only have one channel and educational account. You can't have one per class anymore. So you click Create an Account, and it's going to say, normally, your first name and last name. I already did this once and named it NTHS Science because I think you should probably do either, if you're, for instance, maybe you put NTMS 8th grade science or something like that. Identify the subject area. You can change the name later, by the way. But probably don't want it to be your name. If you do, maybe you want to put just Mr. Pool, not your first and last name. That's up to you. Once I am ready, I just hit create channel, and it's now made a channel called Mr. Pool. There we go. So we've got our account made, and we have to set up some default stuff for our class. Now, first of all, it says channel not approved for nationaltutorial.us. We could go ahead and approve our channel because we're teachers, so that students would be able to come to it later. I didn't even notice that. I'm going to click on there, and I'm going to go back down to settings again to set some things up. And we're going to go to channel status and features. Now there's some specific features in here that we want to have. You may want live streaming. You will want longer videos, which means you can have a video over 15 minutes. That's really the only thing that we need to enable. This one we definitely need to enable. So if I click enable, it's going to bring me to this screen to verify my account. It's going to call and give me a 6-digit code to verify that I'm a person and not a bot setting up the account. And it has to be a US number because I'm saying my country is US. So I can either have it call me or text me, either one. I'm going to go ahead and say call, and then you're going to type in your phone number, and it needs to either be a cell phone or a home phone number. It cannot be the phone number of the school because it won't be able to get through to that. So I'm going to go ahead and type in my phone number and hit the submit button. And as soon as I hit the submit button, it takes, well, that many seconds. And I'm going to answer the phone.
Thank you for using Google Phone Verification. Remember, you should not share this code with anyone else, and no one from Google will ever ask for this code. Your code is 829873. Again, your code is 8298.
So then I'm just going to hit submit. I just now realized I wasn't in the video. And it says your account is verified. So now that I've done that, if I go down and look at the same place in settings and go to the channel status and features, you can see that I am now enabled for longer videos. If I want to stream live, I have to enable that by clicking enable. And that's going to take 24 hours to be active. It just won't work just because I clicked on it. Why? I have no idea. But it won't work until tomorrow. So I've got those things set up. The next thing I want to set up, and I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to YouTube Studio this time to set up my channel defaults. Those things that I want to always be the same so I don't have to set them. So if I go down here to the bottom left now to settings, I have the ability to set my upload defaults, and that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to go to upload defaults. I'm going to have a default description, Mr. Pool's High School Class Recordings. Sounds good. The title is going to be different every time, so there's no reason to do that. Visibility, by default, I want it to be unlisted. That means every time I upload, no one will see it except for me until I put the link somewhere for them to be able to see it. Always, always. I'm going to go to the advanced settings as well. I'm going to say that this is an educational video and that it is never aired in the United States and that it is English, and that helps the text system. You can see English United States. It helps it do the closed captions for you. And then I've got down here comment visibility. I'm going to say hold all comments for review. People can comment. No one's ever going to see them but me unless I approve them, and then it'll show up on the YouTube settings. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to come back into settings. And I'm going to go to there we go. And I'm going to go, okay. And I'm going to go back to settings, and I'm going to go to the channel and do some settings here too. Country, I'm going to set US. almost there. There we go. United States is my country. Advanced settings. This one's important. Unless you want to answer this question every single time, you're going to say, yes, this channel is made for kids. That means all students would be able to view your video without authenticating and having the channel approved. And that is it. Yep, that's it. Oh, I'm going to disable ads. Why would I want my students to see ads? So I'm going to disable interest-based ads, and then I'm going to hit save. Now all my defaults are set up for my channel, and after that, I'm ready to upload. So to get to Movie Maker, we just go down to the Windows icon, and I could just type the word movie, and I should see Movie Maker come up right away. I'm going to hit enter to launch Movie Maker. The first time you launch Movie Maker, it's going to ask that you agree with Microsoft Terms of Service, so you can go ahead and accept that. And then we're launched straight into Movie Maker. All right, so let's start using Movie Maker. The first thing we want to do is import our video. So we just, when we're home here, I've just opened it up, we hit add video, and I'm going to add an example class from back in March that I took while we were still in session. Now, once I add that class, I need to find whatever it is that I want to remove, whether it's a extended pause, whether it's a student answer, maybe their audio, whatever. I can go and find whatever spot. So I can either play through the video to find it, or if I know it happened at about 15 minutes in, I can kind of scroll there. And then you can see the video on the right-hand side. The line is where it's at right now, and now I can use this to drag back and forth. I'm holding down my left key, or left mouse key, to drag back and forth to find exactly where maybe I wanted to remove. So I find that spot that I wanted to remove, and I put the mouse there, and I go up to Edit on top, and I have the button right below Edit that I'm going to use, which says Split. I just turned that into 2 videos. I then go to the place where I wanted to resume. So I find that spot, and you can see the line again. I just cursor to that spot that I'm finished, and I split it again. And now it's basically turned it into 3 separate video files. I've got the beginning, I've got this middle section that's very short, and then I've got the ending. All I have to do is click on that middle section and hit my delete key. Middle section is gone, automatically slides the other 2 sections together, and voila, I'm done. So all I have to do now, if I've got more spots that I need to do, I could go through the rest of the video and do that. I could trim off the beginning, I could trim off the end. If I wanted to, by doing the same thing. The split tool is your best friend. If you want to make sure it's what you wanted, I could just go back here, clicking on the timeline, and hit the play button, and I'll get to preview exactly what happens. Did I cut out what I wanted to cut out? Yes, it's going to have a little jump there, obviously. But you know what? My screen capture slides stay the same. I just kind of hop a little bit when that happens. Hardly anyone's even going to notice that happened in the end. I should point out down here in the bottom right-hand corner is a zoom scale. If I want to get even more granular, if I want to move it to 1/8 of a second, if I zoom in, you can see it just made this file huge. And then I go to that spot. Now as I slide that, let me find where I'm at. Well, I'll just put it right here. Now as I slide that, I'm sliding it in hundreds of seconds. If you look at it over here, if I really want to just make sure I just clip out as little as possible, I can zoom in. It does make it harder to find stuff. You can see I can also zoom out. So it's just, if I'm zoomed out all the way, it just shows the 2 clips. That's what the zoom lets you do. And if you want to see it a little bigger, this button right here lets that preview pop out full screen so you see what you've got full screen. Okay, that's the easiest video editing tool there is. So let's go and finish the video now to make it a video. And the save button is not the answer. Up here where you see this save button, that's saving the project that you're working on. It has nothing to do with the video. You have to export the video to be done. Okay, to export our video, we just go up here to File and Save Movie, and we have these different options. I always go with the for high definition display. That means it's going to be as high quality as it possibly can be, and it doesn't ruin this high quality video that you just had. You trim it, and all of a sudden you end up with junk. So you go for high definition display, and it just says, hey, what do you name it as? I'm going to name it on my flash drive and put it there. And I'll just leave it what it's called, my movie, and hit save. You obviously could name it whatever you want to. They might not be enough room on that drive. So it's going to go through and save the video. Now this editing is something that I do closer to the end of the day. It is not instantaneous. Saving a video file takes some time. So I would go maybe during your plan period, clip out that thing, hit save movie, and then go have your lunch. Okay, so we're ready to upload a YouTube video. Again, we're just logged on and we go to YouTube. Since we've already got our channel set up, all we have to do is click the plus button up here in the top right hand corner to create, and we have choices of uploading or going live. Click upload. We can either select files or drag and drop them right onto this. I'm going to go ahead and select files, and I'm going to go down to my chapter 1 video right here. So that's now uploading as soon as I select it. The file is always going to be named, or the video is always going to be named whatever the file was. Chapter 1. I can change the name. And let's see, it says my class, and I'm going to go down. I can add it to a playlist. It's already selected that it's made for kids. I'm going to say next, next. It's already selected as unlisted. I'm going to go ahead before I finish. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to open in a new page, and then I'm going to hit save. Now, it doesn't matter how big your file is. I can hit close on this while it's uploading and processing. It doesn't matter that it's not done. I can already use this video URL in Moodle to make an activity. It just means the video will work when it gets there. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look back here. You can see it's all the way done, and if I want to get that address later, all I have to do is come to my channel videos and click the little YouTube icon, and it opens up the video that I just clicked on. Okay, I want to use this YouTube video in my Moodle class, so I just need this address up here. If I just click in the bar, it highlights the whole thing, and then I can hit Control-C to copy that address. That's all I need to put it into a Moodle course. I'm going to go ahead and go to Moodle, and I'm going to go to my Advanced Technologies class. Now, I can put this in any activity or resource anywhere in Moodle as long as I get the full text editing page. So it doesn't matter where you want to use it. The process is the same. If I want to add it to the date on the calendar, all I have to do is click New Event, and I can say class or chapter 1 introduction. Has to have a name. That's why it has that asterisk. Now there's nowhere to do it, so I hit Show More, and now all of a sudden I have that full editing box. I just paste the YouTube address in there. Then I have to scroll down to see the save, and once I save, it's added it to today's date. If I want to see what it looks like, I click on it. There's the course introduction. The YouTube video is already embedded, and that's how I get it in the calendar. Putting it in any activity or resource is exactly the same. I just paste it in there, and then the students would be able to watch the video as part of what other exercise or activity or resource you want to list for them in your course.